rough. It'll be rough and ready. It might even have people in there that you might. I don't know. Do we need to get permission? I think we just go down there and look through the window like we did before. But if there's somebody in there working, then it will be unlocked, and you might be able to poke your nose around. But if it's locked, it's likely to be locked. It's supposed to be locked. But yeah, wait. Okay, so now we need some. At the moment, the key holders will just be Peter and Paige, and Ian and myself. Can we have some volunteers for the props team? That is liaising with me about the plinths. I think you should all have a look at the well gallery, by the way, so you know what these plinths look like. There's the well gallery we were talking about earlier, book arts show. Have a little look, won't take you 2 minutes. Just look over and see what they mean. I was a bit surprised they weren't solid plinths, but I kind of got used to it after I looked at them for a while and imagined work being draped on them. So have a look at that. So volunteers for the props team. So that's Abby, Rachel. Who else? Sorry. You need to work with me in terms of like if I say they're in the shed, then maybe you go and get them, or liaise with. It should be quite a large team, I think, because it'd be good if you can liaise with other people about their needs and things like that.
Do you know where the shed is?
Well,
I'm sure. The shed is. If you think of the back end of the building where the little road is, right. So if you go straight through there and look down in the road, the back of the comms there. Yeah. So when you go downstairs to the ground floor, where the lifts are, it's on your right-hand side. You go through double doors, and there's another big set of doors. And these doors are alarmed. So the doors you have to get them open. Sometimes they're open quite a lot. And the shed's in that car park, that's on the back of the road space there. And the shed is a big shed that covers the whole width of the building between where graphic design is and where this particular building is. So it's a massive shed.
could I ask you to not be in the but be sort of the person who takes the action? If you know all that, that's really useful information. You've done so much of this. Okay, brilliant. So
it's also, even though the stuff is in the shed, it's getting at it. They just tend to put, it's a bit of a, kind of like locate it and then get it out.
and the other thing about the props team is that somebody, maybe a couple of you, need to kind of just volunteer to, because I think it would be handy if the people who are in the props team know what, that's exactly what it looks like.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's exactly what it That's to show us a sketch.
Yes.
But in fact, there are 2 of those L-shaped things per. I know it's not perfect, but have a look. 2 of those for the thing, and when it's covering your beautiful work, imagine, have vision. So are you putting up the props? Okay, thank you very much. So that's Kat and Jess and Aga. Anybody else for the props team? So, Abby, Rachel, Marla, Megan, Kat, Jess and Aga are the props team so far. And what I'm thinking is that I would suggest that the props team puts up a bit of paper where everybody writes down what they think they need, or unless you're really mad on emails or Facebook and you want to do it like that. I don't mind how you do it.
But then there'll be loads of messages on, we'll be writing just on a sheet of paper, write your name and then next to what you want. So otherwise it'll be
I don't mind, but yeah, okay, that's good. And
so the props needs quite props people need quite a few hands because I could do that.
Nancy, the only thing about you, Nancy, the only thing about you, Nancy's offering to go on the props. I'm wondering, Nancy, whether I don't mind you being in the props, but I'm wondering whether you need to be involved in the signage. Because you're the only person here so far who's mentioned fonts.
Okay.
And I think you should call in there. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's
you
fine.
sure?
Yeah.
You won't be only you.
No, that's fine.
So, I was rather saving you for that.
Okay.
So that's a great idea. Piece of paper on the door, fantastic. That can be that's props team job. So you know who you are, props team? Do you know who you are? Abby, Rachel, Marla, Megan, Kat, Jess, and Aga. You are the props team. Thanks so much. Peter and Paige, you are the health and safety officers, amongst many other things. Well, Paige and I are already in uniform, I think.
I love a man in uniform.
Fantastic.
So you would look wonderful in uniform.
So, the next job is a very responsible and important job. It is the rota, and it is not an easy job. And remember that thing: 6 days, 10 till 5. How long are the sessions going to be? And how are we going to get 3 people to fill up each space? So another big, large piece of paper I would suggest, probably somewhere around here. Can I have volunteers for the rota? And
Can we use that ball? You know, in the hallway?
Which, yes.
Can we use that?
Yes. Which one here, or the one along the one in the corridor here, or the one along here? Actually, Nancy, why don't we let them decide? Because can you decide where you're going to put your big rota sheet up, and then everyone will know. Are we listening? Planning going on here.
I've come across one, I'm not sure the actual website. So you can see everyone's availability and then we can judge it from that. Maybe.
What they tend to do in the third year for like the Christmas show and also for the pre-show is to have written up on a big piece of paper and it's put somewhere where everyone can find it easily. But now where else goes really. So this store is good. There are notice boards there. Up here is good, I think. Yeah, and then you can refer to that all the time. And if once you've agreed on the times you send for the rota, I'm sure I'm just about to say this, but you absolutely have to do that. And as Ellen said, it's really important because you have to have 3 people there, and it's the role, and that's it. The role that you fulfill in the rota, it's really important. It's not just about health and safety things, it's more than that. It's actually seeing that people aren't there who are thinking, oh, I like that. You're there to stop that. You're also there, more importantly, because that's not going to happen. But you're also there because this is an important show and for you guys, and people may come along and want to buy it, or have something to add to it, or know someone who would be interested in looking at that. May know an industry partner that could come along the following week. It's all those sorts of things that can happen. In the research, it's amazing the number of times when you've had buyers coming in, or people coming in from different companies, and they're interested in someone's work, or 2 or 3 people's work, and of course those people just don't happen to be there at that moment. It is really frustrating if then what comes back is, oh, sorry, I was the only one here and I couldn't leave my chair. I mean, that is a nightmare.
Exactly. If for instance, really the point here, if for instance when you get a reply from your email saying, yes, I can come in 11 o'clock on Monday, if you find that that's the time you signed up on the rota, swap with somebody so that you're not officially invigilating at the same time as greeting somebody who's coming to see your work. Separate issues. One is your invigilation responsibilities, the other is meeting your industry rep. You know what I mean? Yeah. So don't invite your industry reps in at a time when you're invigilating. This is great. So the next thing, so you're going to do the rota hard copy to start off with, and then if you want to fiddle around officially afterwards, we'll see how it goes. Brilliant. The invitation, the wording, the email. Oh, fantastic. So this is Nora and Natalie. Two is fine for that. Do we have anybody else who's desperate to involve in that? This is what I'm really pleased about. I'm not talking to you like your kids, but you've thought about what you want to do, and you've held back, and you're volunteering for what you actually want to do. So it's really very, very good. Responsible thinking. That's good. And finally, joining Nancy on the signage, flyer, poster, no photography, etc. Plus making sure these little bits of information, name, company we designed for, and crucial little paragraph, which you will each write yourselves, is looking nice and uniform, yeah, which is all this Nancy team job. Can we have some more people who haven't yet volunteered to helping? Okay, we have a bit of a team behind you, Nancy. You have a bit of a team behind you here. Okay, so so we've got Kunying, Charlie, Elsa, Zena. Have I missed anybody out? We have got Fran, and we've almost got too many actually. Vienna and Tasha. So that portfolio, you may now. So that's it. So just so you know who you are: Charlie, Kunying, Elsa, Zena, Fran, Vienna, and Natasha. I would have a little chat, yeah, and think about. And you're writing notes. Perhaps I don't know whether you're. I'm not. You don't. You shouldn't do everything. And not all of you have to do everything. You can divide this set of typographic really problems out between you, because I think there's too many people to work on. You know, it might get a bit messy. So think about your jobs being including the signage in the room, the signage of the individual artist's work, etc. I just explained, but also the communicating that we're actually having this thing, the flyer, stroke, poster possibilities, and this will be your responsibility. But you can talk to others about it. You can talk to our communication team about what the rest of the group think if you want to channel your questions out again. Okay, so and you'll need to just think about this for a while before you come back with any thoughts really. But that's a really great job and responsibility to have. Any other? Let's pause for a moment and have a little think. Has anybody not been able to find a little place for themselves yet? Because if they haven't, I should put you into one of the. Okay. Do you have any thoughts on which team you'd like to be in? So we've got props. I think the rotors and the invite are sort of sorted, and it's really props. Or I could have a little team. I could have a little. Is anybody else not put their hand up at this stage? You didn't have a job yet, did you? Do you know what I think I might do if it's all right with you guys? I know I've forgotten something, but we've all forgotten something probably right now. So if other jobs come up that really need a place to go, I'll call on you two to fill those gaps, if you don't mind. And that bails me out a bit if I find I don't have enough time to do something. Fantastic. So. Right. So, the next thing that will happen on this is that I will make sure Peter and Paige are key holders on the door. I will also speak to estates about plinths. I have already spoken to Belinda May about nabbing those plinths that are in the well gallery. And you guys need to go and see the well gallery to check out these plinths that are down there. And you also need to make sure that on Friday you meet at 10:30 and at 1:30. Where do you meet? Here. To go down for a quick tour. Perhaps getting your names on the door, I'll check that I'll let them know you're coming. Okay, thank you very much indeed, everybody. Can we think of anything else before we go?
Are we thinking about how our work is going to correspond with our work? Link together, or are we just all going to just put our work in?
It's going to be, it's definitely there's going to be formed quite a bit on It's just in name. I mean, is that all right? Yeah, thank you. Because the thing is that
Lovely joint leader.
Yes.
Someone else as well.
very democratic of you. Is everybody okay with that? This isn't about. It's not about anything. Don't you know? It's just we need to have places to focus information at this short period of time we've got to plan this thing. And I'm just going to answer Shane before I ask you to say Rachel. So you're the props team. And we're going to have this piece of paper, if you remember, saying what props are needed. And for many of you, it's just going to say plinth, please. You might say plinth and plug. Or, I'm sorry, yes, fantastic. Well, yes, well, and I'll tell you the other thing is that if you really do feel you need a wall, you know, then put wall. But also, if you really have made your whole vision around a rail, and you know you've got one actually already, you're all set up. Perhaps you could have a rail instead of a pin, or a rail. Maybe, I don't know why. But the important thing, my point is that on that piece of paper, lots of people and everybody, put that on there. That's where that information needs to go. You know, if you are going to, I will supply a rail, put that. I will supply a rail, but I would like it to be next to a wall. I will supply a rail, but I also want a plinth. You know, I want a low plinth, I want a high plinth. Things like that. Anything but minimal, but any information you think will be useful will be invaluable to the props team when we come to gather all the props together. Okay? So, does that answer the question? All right, Shane. Do it again. I love your honesty.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. From when we did the final show when I was on the FDA, it was like pastel colours together,
Oh,
flowers.
Themed.
Yeah, themed. That's what I meant. Sorry, maybe I didn't word it properly.
Yeah.
Is it going to be themed together, or is it just going to be put in the room?
Hang on, someone's asking a question as though they might have an answer to that.
No, I was wondering whether you were going to do cushions, etc., soft
Yeah.
versions.
So like if people are doing
Flower.
textiles, they go together. If people doing wallpaper, they go together.
Well, okay, so these are just opinions, not
Yeah,
like
no,
things. I don't really want to do that. Because it makes it sound a bit too much hassle.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a good bit of better reason.
If you feel like you don't belong, then you might feel.
Yeah, I mean, oh, yeah,
You're not the same way.
I love it. But it's true, and also it's true goes neat, and that's brilliant.
The thing about a degree show is that it's a different thing. There's much longer time to get the work ready for that. And also, because it's marked beforehand, but over a period of time, it's very easy for the person curator, Sue, or whoever's working with Sue, to actually know what the work is and what goes where, and to make a decision like that. Whereas this is not quite that.
And also, you know,
It's something we don't want to do.
it's perhaps one of the reasons why when you go and have a tour on Friday, please do not walk around thinking, I want that, I definitely want that bit more. No, you can't be like that, because we will have strutting our stuff. We will come in and shift people's plinths around if necessary.
Part of the learning curve, really, isn't it?
Yeah, a cushion next to a piece of jewellery, next to a t-shirt, next to a wallpaper, next to is more the feel I want. And I certainly don't want it to go from pastel green to pink. You know, I don't want it to sort of like have that sweeping stylist kind of over thing. It will make it, if it's possible, it will make it more into a. It will stop it being art, which it sort of is, really. It's design, but it's also art.
So it's definitely not. Fluorescence in one corner, geometrics on the
No,
other side.
I don't think so.
Sorry.
I think it might be a bit over-stylized. But we might